where narcissists learn how to manipulate.
Have you ever felt like you were living in The Truman Show with a narcissist as the director, producer, and star? Where your whole reality was staged and controlled by their never-ending need for attention and admiration? If so, you're not alone. Narcissists are the ultimate puppet masters of manipulation. In this video, we're going to rip off the curtain and expose where these egomaniacal illusionists learn their mind-bending tricks, from pulling you into their self-centered cyclone of chaos to making you question what's real and what's fake. Will uncover the sickening secrets behind a narcissist's twisted powers of deception. Buckle up, because by the end of this, you'll be able to spot a narcissist's manipulation from a mile away and be immune to their poisonous mind games. Let's dive in.
Where narcissists get trained in manipulation 101.
Narcissistic manipulation doesn't happen overnight. Like all great evils, it starts small and snowballs over time. Most narcissists get their first taste of mind control from the same place they take their first breaths within the dysfunctional family circus.
The messed up family tree.
Just picture a young, future narcissist being raised by a pair of emotionally constipated, self-involved parents. Whether it's an authoritarian drill sergeant father or a needy, martyring mother, the kid is forced to become a pint-sized people-pleaser just to get a scrap of love and approval. They learn that the only way to get their needs met is through manipulation and putting on an act. Like a magician's apprentice, they study their parents' every move, the tantrums, the silent treatments, the gaslighting. Desperate for attention, they start copying these toxic tactics to pull the strings in their favor. Thus, the first seeds of narcissistic manipulation are planted and a new generation of mind warpers is born. Go to any narcissist family reunion and you'll see the same tragic pattern on display. The overbearing control freak uncle, the aunt who loves playing the victim, the golden child cousin who can do no wrong. It's one big manipulative smorgasbord of denial, drama, and head games. Take the example of a lawyer who came from a privileged but emotionally abusive household. His father was an illicit narcissist, a wealthy, philandering big shot who constantly belittled his family and flew into rages over any perceived criticism or disobedience. Growing up, the lawyer quickly learned that the only way to survive was by profusely flattering his father, denying anything was wrong, and going along with his endless delusions of grandeur. Like being stuck in a real-life Truman Show, the lawyer had to play his role as the bumbling, inferior son to the T or face the consequences of his narcissist father's wrath. Now look where he ended up, a narcissist himself who manipulates judges, juries, and even his own clients with Oscar-worthy performances of bravado and mock empathy. The human mind's ability to model and mimic toxic behavior is a scary thing.
The Narcissists University, failed relationships, and burned bridges.
Of course, dysfunctional families are just the starting credits for a narcissist's manipulation skills. Their true mastery happens with time and practice out in the real world through a trail of shattered relationships and shattered lives. Think of every romantic partner, friend, coworker, or random stranger a narcissist entraps as just another student attending manipulation. You the harsh, unforgiving school of life where boundaries don't exist and exploitation is the only curriculum. A nurse who had children with an abusive, narcissistic husband described his methodical cycle of control beautifully. First it was him amping up the flattery, putting me on a pedestal one day. Then it was the subtle criticisms, correcting my trivial mistakes, or helping by undermining my decisions the next. Once he had me doubting myself, then came the bigger devaluations and punishing rages if I didn't behave how he wanted. Rinse and repeat, over and over for 15 years, a living nightmare. Narcissists are constantly studying and reevaluating what buttons to push for maximum manipulation. They carefully log their mistakes and weaknesses during the love bombing and discard phases, so that next time they can make their mind prison inescapable. Call them the Ted Bundys of psychological torture. They never stop perfecting their predatory attack. One nurse's poison was not enough for this narc. He needed entrapment after trampment to satisfy his sadistic thirst for human domination through manipulation. No heart was too pure, no innocent soul too kind to be corrupted by his deceitful sorcery.
Enablers, the narcissists' manipulation coaches.
Sadly, for many narcissists, their twisted masterclass in deception doesn't stop with just dysfunctional parents and traumatized exes. They often have an entire team of enabling coaches to assist in their manipulation mind games. These are the narc's motley crew of arselickers and sycophants, codependent family members and friends who make excuses for the narcissist's behavior, shift the blame onto the victims, and even join in on dishing out the abuse and gaslighting. Flying monkeys galore, these enablers serve as force multipliers for any narcissist looking to escalate their assault on reality. Instead of challenging the narcissist's manipulation and outrageous falsehoods, enablers pile on with dismissive language, dehumanizing criticism, and false narratives to bury the truth deeper. Let's look at the example of a narcissistic mother who relied on her own codependent mother and sister to not only cover for her emotional abuse and neglect, but actively participate in scapegoating her ungrateful children. Whenever the kids tried to expose the narc mom's hostility, cruelty, and favoritism, the enabling grandma and aunt would chime in with comments like, "Your mother sacrificed everything for you spoiled children. And how dare you make your poor mother cry after all she's done for you?" With an army of enablers running interference, the narcissistic mother could focus all her energy on weaving her web of deception, spinning lie after lie, truth after delusion, knowing she had a fierce team of shamers reinforcing her manipulative fantasies onto her captive children. Take it from a child who survived that nightmare, being raised in a narcissist's manipulation cult. Even family itself becomes the invisible prison you can never escape.
The Internet, unleashing manipulation worldwide.
As terrifying as narcissistic manipulation is in the real world, the rise of the internet and social media has turbocharged a narc's reach, power, and new techniques to an unprecedented global scale. In the old days, a narcissist's ability to distort the truth and control information was limited to their immediate circle of friends, family, and local community. But now, the online world has become a bottomless playpen of new targets and props to serve their twisted theater of deception. Smear campaigns, fake identities, doctored evidence, a narcissist's potential to craft and promote outrageous lies designed to discredit and manipulate their victims into submission is virtually limitless. Just look at any Reddit or Mumsnet thread detailing a narcissistic abuse saga. The bark of defamatory posts shared for all to see, leaving targets shell-shocked and disoriented in a fog of lies. Each share, like, and retweet carrying the malignant spread of distortion deeper into the ethos, mutating and festering like a pandemic, narcissistic virus unleashed worldwide. And that's just one tentacle of their cyber Cthulhu. Narcissists are masters at using the faceless distance of the internet to love bomb strangers into falling for their idealized false mask with laser precision. Posing as wounded birds or virtuous heroes, they seduce new supply sources with expertly crafted fictions through sympathetic conman tales, fake personas, and stolen glamour shots. Once their hooks are set, it's the same timeless story, the slow erosion of boundaries, subtle manipulation through triangulation mind games, gaslighting, and dread tactics until their prey is an utterly isolated, self-doubting shell. The internet is a narc's ultimate enabler, a limitless realm to workshop new manipulation tactics, destroy reputations, and create grand revisionist fictions that cement their delusional power over the truth. It's like the Truman Show met the Matrix, except with billions of puppets to deceive at their fingertips. The narcissist's virtualized fantasies become our collective, inescapable nightmare. No matter what tools are given, a narcissist's unquenchable thirst for human supply and domination over reality ensures they'll always pervert that power into new depths of manipulation. What starts small metastasizes into a rapidly replicating psychological virus of mind control. The roots and learnings of a narcissist's manipulation run bone deep. It's a tragic, generational cycle of abuse, trauma, and enablement passed down like a terminal cancer across families, relationships, and now infiltrating the World Wide Web. At its core, narcissistic manipulation stems from a desperate, insatiable hunger, a vacuum within their disordered psyches for unconditional admiration, control, and importance over others that can never be filled or satisfied. With each new atrocity and sidewinding manipulation, they're not sustaining life, but rather perpetuating their own self-inflicted death sentence of solipsistic hell. But we don't have to remain their captive audience, plagued with self-doubt and living in their funhouse of distorted mirrors. The great news is, once you understand the twisted psychological origins of a narcissist's manipulation, you become powerfully inoculated against their black magic. With awareness, you learn to tune out their siren song of lies and manipulation. You stop dancing to the narcissist's twisted score that tries to make you question what's real and what's fictional script. Remember, a narcissist's manipulation is like a rusting Truman Show set piece crumbling from view the moment you simply stop buying into the deception and illusion. Walk off their stage, into your truth, and reclaim your freedom. So never forget where these masters of deception come from. They don't arrive on Earth as misunderstood angels or tragic victims, but emerge like cancer cells violently overtaking minds and souls, unlucky enough to be in their path of manipulation and destruction. Look closely at the origins, and you won't see an elaborate illusion or complicated sleight of hand trick. Just a lonely, fragile being engaged in the most desperate long con of all, eternally trying to manipulate themselves out of their own